15th, 1977 was a routine day at Ohio Wesleyan University, but something was going to happen here tonight that will continue to be a mystery to humans for years to come. The 30-meter wide reflector of the university's Big Ear radio telescope detected a huge radio signal at 10:16 p.m. That night, the signal passed through the telescope to an IBM 1130 computer, and from there it was automatically converted to a printer. At that time of night, there was complete silence in the control room except for the sound of the printer. The signal printed on the paper was buried among all the other printouts, and for now, no one knew that the Big Ear telescope had received an alien signal coming from the Sagittarius constellation in the sky. A few days later, the control room technician took all the printouts and left them at the home of astronomer Jerry Ehman, whose name was to examine the signals received on the telescope. All the rest. The signals were written in the numbers 1 and 2 on the pages, but in one place, Ehman found some strange numbers and letters written 6AQUJ5. Jerry Ehman saw this signal and highlighted it with his red pen and wrote next to it, "Wow." Since then, it has been known as the "Wow" signal. But what was so special about this signal? Why has it become a mystery to astronomers for the past 47 years? And was this signal from the Sagittarius constellation a message from aliens? Or just a coincidence? Welcome back to the videos of past empires. Viewers, there was a study behind the importance of the Wow signal, which was released almost 18 years before this incident. What happened was that in 1959, physicists Philip Morrison and Joe P. Cossoni of Argyle University released a paper in which it was hypothesized that if there was an extraterrestrial civilization in the universe, they would, to communicate with us, that is, with those living on Earth, we will use a frequency of 1420 megahertz. The reason is that this frequency comes naturally from hydrogen. Everyone knows that hydrogen is the most abundant element in the universe, and it can probably be a common and understandable reference for every technologically advanced civilization. That is why this frequency is considered ideal for extraterrestrial communication. After this study, in 1973, Ohio State University dedicated its radio telescope Big Ear to searching for signals of extraterrestrial, that is, intelligent life outside the Earth's atmosphere, and this mission was named Search for Extraterrestrial Intelligence, or SETI. This mission was the longest running mission of its time, designed to search for life outside the Earth. The Big Ear radio telescope is located at the Perkins Observatory on the campus of Ohio Wesleyan University. Its mission was to scan different parts of the sky and detect any intelligent signals that might be coming from outside the Earth. To understand the data from the Big Ear radio telescope, astronomer Jerry Ehman was hired, who was happy to do this work. C783EM. The signal received by the telescope at 10:16 p.m. that is, the telescope will detect the signal for 12 seconds, then record it in the computer and then start recording the next 12 seconds. That is, if the WO signal has 6 characters and each character is 12 seconds long, then it means that the WO signal reached the telescope for a total of 72 seconds. Let us tell you here that when the telescope does not receive any signal, it records the value of 0. The smallest signal is 1. Similarly, as the numbers increase, it means that the intensity of the signal is increasing. Normally, signals of intensity from 1 to 3 or 4 were received in this Big Ear telescope, but the Wow signal started with 6. If there is a signal of a value greater than 10, then it will change into alphabets, such as 10 means A, 11 means B, and 12 means C. Similarly, it will continue. The second part of the WO signal is converted by the computer into E, which means 14. While the signal intensity was 6 in the last 12 seconds, it became 14 in the second 12 seconds. The third cue is the one whose value is 26. The highest value of this signal was 30, which the computer converted to U. And then in the last two parts, its value became JIE20 and then F. The most special thing about this wow signal was that it was heard only on the 1420 MHz frequency channel, the same frequency that naturally comes from the hydrogen element. This is why, in the eyes of astronomers and scientists, this signal was sent from space by some civilization that is as intelligent as us humans. Now, the question must be arising in your mind that there are so many asteroids, planets, galaxies, and clusters in the universe. Maybe this signal was generated randomly from somewhere. So, why is it being linked to aliens? Actually, the 14 to 20 weeks frequency is the frequency of the hydrogen line. The scientist means that if an alien civilization wants to communicate, it will choose a universal and easily understood frequency that every advanced species can understand. Secondly, if a line chart is made of the strength of the wow signal, it looks very strange. This signal went up to a value of 30 and then gradually faded away, and such signals can only be generated intentionally. Another reason to link the wow signal to aliens is that cosmic events in space do throw signals, but neither do they have this pattern that is slowly increasing and slowly fading back. Nor do these signals come only once. But another special thing about the wow signal that points to aliens is that this signal was heard only once. If this signal was generated due to a natural event, it would have been heard repeatedly. And above all, it is not only in the 1420 MHz frequency band. Now, coming to our second question, from which location in the sky did this signal come? The exact location of the signal from where it came is very difficult to determine due to the design of the Big Ear telescope. The telescope had two separate structures called feed horns. Due to the rotation of the Earth, these two feed horns were scanning the sky in different directions. The signal was heard in only one of these feed horns but not in the other, and the data was processed in such a way that it is not possible to decide which horn heard this signal. Therefore, we have these two separate locations where the direction of both feed horns was at that time, and this signal could have come from both these locations. But it is not exactly confirmed which of the two locations it was. The location of the signal was in a specific area of the Sagittarius constellation near the globular cluster M55 and near Tau Sagittarius I. This mystery has not yet been solved because we know that the wow signal came from the Sagittarius constellation, but the exact coordinates have not yet been confirmed. There are many theories and hypotheses about what the wow signal was and where it came from, but scientists do not agree on any one theory. One possibility is that it was an interstellar twinkle of a weak signal, just like star clusters do. But the Very Large Array Telescope, which is a more sensitive telescope than the Big Array, could not detect this signal. If this signal was detected on the Big Array due to interstellar interference, why was it not detected on the BA? Therefore, this theory has also been proven wrong. It's been expressed that perhaps this signal was generated from Earth itself, but was reflected by an atmospheric or space debris in space and recorded back on the Big Ear telescope. But this theory was also later proven wrong because scientists say that if this signal was generated on Earth itself, if it had collided with space debris and bounced back, it would not have had as much power as it could have reached a value of U30. Another problem is that the frequency band of 1420 MHz is reserved for astronomy, and radios on Earth are not allowed to send signals at this frequency. That is why it is not possible for the VOO signal to be generated on Earth itself. Jerry Ehman and other astronomers tried to find the signal again 50 times, but the signal was never heard again. In 1987 and 1989, Robert Gray used the meta-annere of the Ocre Observatory. In 1995, H. Balshaw used the telescope of the Greek Bank Observatory. Then, in 1999, Gray and Simon Allison also used the 26-meter telescope of the Mount Pleasant Radio Observatory. But the result was always the same: complete silence. Please redeem the telescope. Was this signal an accident? Or did aliens send us, wanted to make contact and then stopped? In 2017, Antonio Paris said that this signal could have come from two hydrogen clouds at comets 266P and 335P. But astronomers rejected this idea because the comets were not at the right spots at that time. And secondly, hydrogen clouds cannot emit radio signals at this frequency. The scientists said that if this signal was from a comet, then both feeds would have been detailed. But this did not happen. The wow signal is a mystery that scientists do not have the answer to this day. Was it a message from an alien civilization or a natural host event? The scientific community is still trying to understand the origin of this signal. Nearly 47 years have passed since the wow signal was recorded, but after the night of August 15, 1977, this signal has never been recorded on any telescope again. I hope you will like and share this video of past empires. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next wonderful video.